as the world evolves and changes, all of us are responsible for evolving and changing with it to be at our very best. I always go back to something that I might have said this on one of our podcasts some time ago, but the best advice that I've ever given, ever was given, and it's advice I've given a lot of younger coaches, my own sons, different people that want to coach, go on and do different things. And I was talking with Jeff Van Gundy, and I asked Jeff, you're small in stature. You didn't play in the NBA. You didn't even play at a very high level of college. I know you loved the game. You were a son of a coach. And yet here you are really at a young age going from almost a graduate assistant to an assistant coach in college to becoming an assistant in the NBA with the New York Knicks. And then you became the head coach of the New York Knicks. Like, you don't look the part. It doesn't look like your pedigree has set you up to be a successful head coach. Now, I'm going overboard and explaining to you guys, maybe I wasn't as in depth with them, but I think you know where I was coming from. Like, how do you do it? Like, how would I, if I would be an assistant in the NBA or want to get into the NBA or even coaching in general, like, how do you do that? You know, to get the respect of guys like Patrick Ewing, Latrell Sprewell, Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason. I mean, that was a rough group in a good way, veteran group. They're trying to win the NBA championship. And he said to me that he asked the identical question to Pat Riley. And Pat Riley said, it's simple. No matter who you are, or where you're from, or where your background is, eventually players will judge you on the same three things. So let's flip it and say I'm a former NBA All-Star and a great player, and I look the part, and I'm going to have everybody's respect that's in that locker room when I walk in because I have walked in their shoes and I have been there and done it. But inevitably, when you talk about that particular player becoming a coach now, what Pat Riley was saying is he too will be judged on the same three things as you, Jeff. And those three things are, what is your work ethic? Are you a hard worker? And look, everybody thinks they work hard, but there's a difference. Like, are you the first one in the office? Are you early to the court, late to leave? Do you put in overtime? Because a player always notices, and they clearly and quickly will notice the opposite if you don't work hard. Number two is, are you competent in what you say? Like, do you have a total command on the court about this game? Can you teach them? Do you know what you're talking about? Are you prepared? Same point. They will give you the benefit of the doubt, and they will listen. They will listen from a distance. They will ask questions. They'll be a curious learner. But they have to decipher whether you can help them or not. And the only way you can help them is you have to have a total command of what you're talking about. If you don't, they won't pay attention or give you the respect that you're looking for. And number three, and probably the most important, is, do you tell the truth? Sometimes the truth is not going to be an easy conversation between a coach and a player, especially a veteran player. But do you level with them? Do you give them the absolute truth? You can give them the truth 9 times in a row, but on number 10 conversation, if you lie or you lead them down the wrong path and they feel that way, you lose them. And I have never forgotten him giving that to me. And I've passed that on so many times. So I always try to remind myself that in a moment like this, where you have a group of guys at Xavier together for the first time, coming from different places, and this is the first team meeting, it's not how much we say or, the imagery we put on a screen. It's those same three things, I'm a coach that's going to work hard. I'm a coach that's going to be completely competent on what I talk about. I'm going to be a coach that tells the truth. And I think you always have opportunities, whether it's team meeting, whether it's a quick conversation, or whether it's at halftime of a game, to stay true to those three things. And I think it's one of the best pieces of advice I've ever been given. And if you think about it outside of sports, how true those three things are. Like, put yourself in the player's mindset. Do you ever trust someone that has lied to you? They really truly don't know what they're talking about when they talk to you about that. It's like, whatever, right? We all know those people. So
You see right through it.
yeah, and that's how I try to go about it.